monkeys with cold water. Soon, every time a monkey went up the ladder, all the others beat it up. After some time, no monkey dared to go up the ladder, notwithstanding the temptation of the bananas. Thereafter, the scientist decided to substitute one of the monkeys. The first thing the new monkey did was to go up the ladder to get the bananas. Immediately, the other monkeys which were on the cage beat it up. After several beatings, the new member learned not to climb the ladder, even though he never knew why. So because the other monkeys which were on the ladder beat it up, although this time there was no pouring of cold water to any monkey. The monkey participated in the beating of the second monkey. A third monkey was changed, and the same beating was repeated by the all monkeys, including the one that joined, without knowing why this monkey is being beaten. The fourth was substituted, and the beating was repeated, and finally the fifth monkey was replaced. What was left was a group of 5 monkeys that, much as they were never subjected to a cold shower or any beating, continued to beat up any monkey who attempted to climb the ladder. If it were possible to ask the monkeys why they beat up all those who attempted to go up the ladder, perhaps the answer would be, I don't know. But that's how things are done here. We don't eat those monkeys, even when eat those bananas, even when we are hungry. Why? We don't know why. But this is how we live here. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a society where those who dare question why and why not are running out of space to call home. Like the monkeys in this story, we are increasingly breeding men and women of great uniformity, lacking in moral spine to question why things are done the way they are done here. The true purpose of education is to replace this kind of doing things with an open one of innovation, of necessity. We must regain this foothold in our universities and create an environment that fosters intellectual curiosity, one that nurtures the ability to question and test received wisdom in search for truth, and one that accommodates divergent views. Together, we can create a world that does not condemn independent and free thinkers to the very bottom of the food chain, just because they hold the view contrary to ours, contrary to how we do the things here. Together we can create a university that accommodates outliers. This would be the right environment for creating and fostering new knowledge, and with it solutions to human afflictions. We have seen the reactions even with COVID. There are those who want to behave just like it has been before. Even when we are talking about teaching and learning and the examination, there are those who are saying, this is not how we do things here. Here we do them differently. So I keep on asking them, here when? We have COVID now. When is it ending? Wacha tugoje ishe. Because they want to be frozen to the past, how we do things here. The university is an environment of innovation and coming with new ways of doing things, new approaches. And we must always feel that anytime we feel we are very comfortable, then we know that something is wrong. We must, at any one time, innovate and come with new ways of doing things, not the way we do it here. In recent times, infringement on and even attempt to steal academic freedom and functional autonomy of universities through extra registration and the executive overreach have come to the fore. I'm, however, happy to note that the session paper number 1 of 2019 stipulates that government long-term policy is to provide a framework for a sustainable, competitive, and autonomous national university system. It is my humble plea that all concerned parties will act in a manner that best fortifies the twin principles of functional autonomy and academic freedom enshrined in our laws. Finally, as we roll up our sleeves and get to work, I'm conscious of the huge burden of responsibility weighing heavily on my shoulders. I, Stephen Kiamagitahi, am neither a miracle worker nor one that possesses the monopoly of knowledge. I'm neither a magician nor one that can break God. I'm just the leader of the band. I promise to serve with honesty, diligence, and humility. I promise to be firm and fair, to lend a listening ear to you and to your concerns, and to as much as is humanly possible, to make decisions grounded on the law. In return, I appeal to you and the students to make every effort to recalibrate our collective culture and attitudes towards teamwork, upholding discipline and integrity, commitment to duty and scholarship, efficiency and excellence. With your support, and the dedication of time and energies in honest service to this university, we are set to reach the promised land and build an enduring legacy of academic excellence. In faith, we reclaim our glory and build our academic edifice that will inspire fresh hope and push the frontiers of university education locally, regionally, and internationally. If you allow, the University of Nairobi is sailing a new tide. And talking of times and their curious ways, Shakespeare couldn't have put it better when he said, "There is a tide in the affairs of men, which taken at the flood leads on the fortune. Omitted, all the voyage of their life is bowed in shallows and in miseries. On such a full sea are we now afloat, and we must take the current when it serves, or lose our ventures. Together, I am confident we can seize the tide and secure our ventures. Let us now retreat to our stations of work and dedicate our efforts and energies in the spirit of pulling together, unitate et labore, unite in labor. May God give us grace to serve. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you very much. We may be seated. May I acknowledge the presence of the immediate family. Dr. Teresa Nungari, may you and your children stand and wave to us. Thank you. Thank you. The CIS Minister of Education, Zach Kinuthia, you greet us. Just wave for us. We acknowledge the Chief Administrative Minister of Education. We acknowledge all our online participants. May I now ask Professor Madara to move a vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm just making sure. CAS, Ministry of Education, Madam Chancellor, Chair of Council and Council members present, our Vice Chancellor, Vice Chancellors past who are present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My role actually is very simple, to give a vote of thanks and to really appreciate what a great occasion this has been. Wow. Despite all that is going on, we managed to pull it off. But Madam Chancellor, please allow me just very quickly to make a quick comment on the challenge you gave both myself and Professor Gengo as DVCs. I want to assure you, Madam Chancellor, and the Chair of Council, and the Council members, and the entire university community, that as far as we are concerned, the race for the for the VC ended in January. We moved on. We closed ranks. We work as a team. And we will continue to support Professor Kiama into success into the future. As the chair eloquently put it, his success is our success. So I'm having a challenge because the mask is steaming my glasses. Okay, now I can read. So on behalf of the University of Nairobi, I would like to thank the Chancellor, the Chair of Council, and the full Council for their leadership and guidance in steering the university to greater heights. We thank all of you that despite the COVID pandemic, you were able to be here. Without your presence, we would not be able to hold the ceremony, and we want to thank you for that. Can we clap for them, please? In addition, I would like to thank the university community led by Professor Njeru, Professor Ngao, who are responsible for the organization of this event. They spent countless face-to-face and online conferencing hours to ensure that everything has run smoothly today. Let us also give them a round of applause. A lot of energy goes into the logistics for such an event, preparing for both an in-house audience and an online audience. This has truly been a global installation, probably the first one that has been out there. But that takes a huge team of people to put it together. If you look around the room, if you look outside, what's going on online, many things have worked seamlessly, and those people have spent a lot of time to do this. Let us appreciate them. Finally, let me thank you, the audience, for spending the time to be with us today as we install our 8th Vice Chancellor. I call upon you once more to give Professor Stephen Kiama a strong, loud, congratulatory clap. And with that, I want to thank everybody. Stay well, stay safe. God bless.
We are coming to the end. I would now ask all of us to stand for the national anthem, and thereafter, B.D. Njuguna will guide us into the photo session. May we be upstanding for the anthem.
You may be seated. Madam Chancellor, allow me now to address the newly installed Vice Chancellor and tell him congratulations. My duty is very, very simple. We have been allowed by our Chief Medical Officer that following and using the health protocols, we may take a few photos to ensure that at least you have some memories of this important occasion. I will be requesting categories, 6 categories of those who are in attendance to kindly move using this door to go near the statue, Mahatma Gandhi's statue. That's where you are going to take the photos. And with your permission, Mr. Vice Chancellor, now you allow me now to read out. And when I read out that category, kindly please take a walk, and the photos will be taken, and you ensure that everything is okay. May I request all the chancellors who are in the House, led by our own Chancellor, kindly move, followed by the Chief Administrative Secretary, Zach Kinuthia, and his team from the Ministry of Education, the chairpersons of university councils present, all vice chancellors present and former vice chancellors, please, and all government officials. The DJ, I will request you to give us some background music as the photos are being taken, so that the second category of the guests will now join that other team. The second category, but please don't move for the time being. The others, I will request you kindly to remain seated so that we don't crowd the place. We are being requested to kindly ensure that all the health protocols are followed. We will be requesting the second category to prepare to go there would be members of university councils, all the members of university council who are here, and the chairperson of IPPCU. That will be the second category. I can see they are organizing themselves. They should be able to take a very short time. And kindly, DJ, give us some background music to ensure that at least we remain entertained as we go on. The next category to take photos would be members of Professor Stephen Kiama's family, led by Dr. Teresa Kiama. So please organize yourself, and kindly, even as you walk out there, maintain the social distancing. Kindly ensure that you adhere to the social distancing. After that photo of the family is taken, the members of University Executive Board, led by the Deputy Vice Chancellors, would now be next. But I would kindly request you, first of all, to remain seated. I can see the photos are being taken. It may take a little bit a while because it's not a normal situation, and we want to ensure that we all remain safe. In the meantime, please, DJ, please give us the numbers. You've got good music that could be playing. Thank you. The photograph that is being taken now is that of the chancellors, the chairperson of the University Council, the vice chancellor, the CAS, and the former vice chancellors. I note they're almost through. Thank you. They are being requested, first of all, they will remove their masks for a very short period of time and then return them, because we need now to document this kind of event, that it took time when we had this pandemic. Thank you. I note that the members of the University Council, they are now taking their seats. They are taking their possession. Thank you. Members of University Council, please join the chairperson. Thank you. The staff union, please remain seated. We'll be soon calling you. That is Uasu, Kusu, and Kudeiha. So please remain seated. We'll be inviting you there to go and take the photos. Student union officials led by Anne and the other team members, so remain seated. We'll still be inviting you there. And we are going to have a very short time for a few of us who want to take a photo with the newly installed Vice Chancellor after those categories have been taken their photos. Thank you. Thank you. May I request the family members now to take their position for the photo session led by Dr. Teresa Kiama. Thank you, family members. Yes, I see Dr. Gitahi there and the other members. Thank you. Yes, they are taking the second photo now without the mask. Members of the UEB, and also request the registrars of the university, the three registrars who are present to be on standby. You could take a photo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. We have really come to the end of this wonderful, wonderful occasions. In the words of Professor Madara Ogot, the DVC Innovation Research and Enterprise, who's given the vote of thanks, it has been a very, very wonderful ceremony where we have seen, just Professor Kiama really take the ranks and be officially, what's the word? I want to say inducted, but it is installed, isn't it? Installed as the 8th Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. And I think we've seen such an amazing ceremony. We've seen it's been full of color, it's been full of encouragement, full of anticipation of the next season that is coming, not just for the university but for the country as well. So sijui nyinyi mumeona namna gani. Let me just Bwana Waweru, imekuwaje kwako wewe?
Imekuwa sherehe ya kufana sana, na kweli tumeshuhudia mengi ambayo tulikuwa tunatarajia. Na la muhimu ambalo pia nimeliona ni kwamba hata profesa ameweza kupiga magoti na kuweza kuomba kwamba akumbuke katika sala. Ameonyesha dhahiri shairi kwamba kazi yenyewe ina changamoto, na changamoto ni nyingi, na itahitaji ushirikiano wa sote washikadau ili aweze kujenga msingi imara ambao utawezesha chuo kupaa katika upeo wa juu zaidi ya vile ambavyo tuko katika wakati huu wa sasa. Na amesema kwamba changamoto zipo na ushirikiano wa washikadau wote ndio utasaidia kuweza kuwafikia ule upeo ambao tunatarajia. Kwa hakika la mno ni kutoa shukrani za dhati hasa kwa wasikilizaji wetu ambao wameandamana nasi hadi tamati tangu tulipoanza. Na hatuna budi kuwashukuru na kuwatakia siku na kila laheri na siku bora zijazo. Sina la ziada ila kumtakia pia kumkongole naibu kaimu wa chancellor Profesa Gitahi Kiama anapochukua hatamu za uongozi chuoni. Naam.
Asante sana. Thank you so much, Bwana Waweru Kaka. And with me here as well has been my counterpart, Karen. What anything that stood out for you as we wind up, Karen?
What stood out for me would be how he said in his inaugural speech that people should foster intellectual curiosity. That sat with me because this is a university where people are used to what was being done before. You've seen us through these COVID times changing tact, giving exams online. I like the way he's fostering this, the way he's saying innovations, he's giving innovations that will propel the university forward. New approaches to things that have been done before. I like that for the university. I also congratulate him and thank the online viewers for being with us. And you, Andy, for also being here with us.
Yes, indeed, asante sana. Those are good points, and you remind me of, remember the monkey and the banana analogy that he's so given. I think it was a very good addition. You know, some of those things give you a pictorial memory of what somebody has said, and indeed pointing out. I think the analogy and that story is really, this is Professor Kiama pointing towards his intention to perhaps push for solutions and innovations,
which is a very good thing for the
and challenge unproductive norms and unproductive traditions. And I think we're going to see in the next couple of months and the next couple of years how this will play out as he takes the ranks. He mentioned that people have been asking him about finances of the university, particularly in view of what we're stepping into. We are in the season of COVID-19, corona issues, and globally we're having economic adjustments, right? People having to really just contend with the realities of the crumbling economy globally. And he's pointed out, I remember he said 3 things. He said we need to fix the sinking ship, we need to cut our coat according to our own size, and to grow the top line. And so over the next few months and years, nafikiri tutaangalia how exactly he's going to flesh this out.
Obviously, the focus will be on how we will execute these things that he has talked about today.
Right,
yes.
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, asanteni sana. Again, I want to thank you for joining me today. Bwana Waweru kaka, huyu ni jamaa wa Ingo kutoka pande za Kitale kule. Mpe ile usemaje?
Wajua Andy, pia wewe ni wa Kitale bana. Sauti zilizokolea hizi. Hatuna budi kushukuru. Sijui itakuwaje Karen aje pia awe wa Kitale.
Inawezekana pia.
So you have
Friends, thank you so much for just coming and giving us a bit of an insight and a background to the University of Nairobi community. Asanteni sana. And the 3 of us once again congratulate the new Vice Chancellor for the University of Nairobi, Professor Stephen Gitahi Kiama. I finish by really reiterating what the Chancellor said. Dr. Ratansis, in her speech, stamped her approval upon Professor Kiama's appointment to the office of the Vice Chancellor, insisting that indeed his appointment was above everything else because of merit. And it is her prayer that this will continue to be the trend going forward, that indeed people who take any sort of leadership would be appointed on merit. And we are blessed and glad that at the University of Nairobi we have the man who is merited to sit on the Vice Chancellor's seat, and we are thankful to God for that. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to say asante sana for tuning in to this live link. We leave you with a few videos that we also recorded, a couple of people giving him congratulatory messages and a few endorsements as well. But from our team here at the University of Nairobi, tunasema asante sana, Mungu awabariki, tuendelee kufanya kazi kwa pamoja. And once again, what is the motto for University of Nairobi?
Tate labore.
Ambayo inamaanisha nini?
Ambayo inamaanisha
unity in labor.
Umoja katika kazi.
Umoja katika kazi.
Naam.
All right. Asanteni sana. May the Lord God bless you. Remember to stay safe in this season. And Mungu awaweke na walinde. Tutaonana tena siku nyingine majaliwa. God bless you.
Don't call me again for any other.
This is a great day for the University of Nairobi, taking over as the 8th Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. We have had other 7 Vice Chancellors, and for me, I feel it's like a time when a baton, those races where the baton is passed from one person to another. And when I look back, actually riding on those others who stood to ensure that the brand of the University of Nairobi is maintained and it grows to where it is now. And they ensured they passed the baton from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other, and even most important, many of them are still around, and they have been around. They support the one who has come. And that has been a very good culture to ensure that the University of Nairobi does not slide back, but always goes up and higher and higher. Professor Kiama Gitahi. I grew up in Karema, sub-location in Othaya. That is where I grew up, and I went to school in the neighborhood. My academic journey has been very, very interesting. Went to nursery school. Those days you are required to go to nursery school. You are taught the alphabets and the numerals. You are taught all those things. And then you would, when I was in nursery school, we used to pay fees. And at some point there was no money, and I had to stay at home for a while. And later the teacher is still alive, my nursery school teacher, had me back to school. Now, to go from nursery to standard 1, there used to be an exam you would do. But the exam is that it is just on those manila paper, and you are asked to identify this letter, identify this letter, identify this letter, identify. And then this will help them to cluster you those days, whether you are in class A, class B, class B, class C. And obviously, when you are being asked those things, you don't know. So I ended up in class A, for example. If you are, for example, class D, you will be class which will be coming in the afternoon to school, others are coming in the morning. There were a lot of those adjustments. Which class comes then, which class, and then even in the class, you are again classified into column A, column B, column C, and within each column, again like that. And obviously, as a young person, you don't know, but the teachers, maybe they knew the parts of clustering you this way, so that they see where to put emphasis, where not to put emphasis, who are the faster ones, who are the slow ones, etc., like that. So I went through the primary school, and then after the primary school, I was admitted to Kenyatta Mahiga High School, Kenyatta High School, also in Othaya. And when I was admitted, I joined this school together with my sister, who I had caught up with at this time. And my parents now are struggling. Who do they pay fees for? Just like today, paying fees is not that, is a challenge. Yeah. And even then it was more challenge because getting money, cash money, was a difficult thing. Yeah. So they said, initially they took the sister, and then finally they agreed to take me to school also. When I went to school, by that time the parents did not have any money, but we found a very good principal who agreed that I can join and then I pay later. And this is what happened. The good thing is that those days, the uniforms used to be given in school, even exercise books and all that. So once you come in, you are given the uniform and you mingle with the other children and start going to class. I went through the high school. After high school, I was then admitted to A-levels in Nakuru High School. And in Nakuru High School, it was a very nice time there because we used to be treated and fed very well. There was some time for getting milk, some time for getting eggs. And then sleeping in a cubicle, you are wearing this nice jacket, trouser, as opposed to wearing this short kanyala. You know, and it was very, 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 very nice place. And after I finished, then I came to the University of Nairobi to do the Bachelor's of Veterinary Medicine. went through the Bachelor's of Veterinary Medicine, and upon completion of the Bachelor's of Veterinary Medicine, then I was absorbed by the University of Nairobi as an assistant lecturer. The same year I completed, and that is 1990. And I've been here in the University of Nairobi, except for a short sojourn outside in Bern when I was doing my PhD. Since 1990, I've been around studying and interacting with the students and staff at the University of Nairobi. So when I came in as an assistant lecturer, I registered for my master's and completed my master's, and then registered again for PhD. But for PhD, I got a scholarship to go to Switzerland under the Federal Commission for Foreign Scholarships in Switzerland is the one that gave me the scholarship. And I went there, I did my PhD, and I was back here. I went there in 1997, and I was back here in 2001. And since 2001, I've been here teaching, and then rose through the ranks in the university. Then, as I said earlier, I was hired as assistant lecturer, moved to lecturer, moved to position of senior lecturer, to position of associate professor, and position of professor. That is as far as the academic line is concerned. I'm married to Teresa Nogari Kiama, and we have 2 children, one a boy and a daughter. And both of them are, one of them is in the university, the other one is doing his own errands to make some money, doing some business, yes. This is a great day for the University of Nairobi, taking over as the 8th Vice Chancellor of the University of Nairobi. We have had other 7 Vice Chancellors, and for me, I feel it's like a time when a baton, you know those races where the baton is passed from one person to another. And when I look back, actually riding on those others who stood to ensure that the blood of the University of Nairobi is maintained and it grows to where it is now. And they ensured they passed the baton from one to the other, one to the other, one to the other, and even most important, many of them are still around, and they have been around. They support the one who has come. And that has been a very good culture to ensure that the University of Nairobi does not slide back, but always goes up and higher and higher.